Hi, this is Chuck Oliver. Welcome to this week's Hidden Wealth Solution Review. Learn how to stop paying more starting right now in 2024. Folks, I talk about in Hidden Wealth Radio this weekend, and I'm talking to those of you that have been strong savers. Maybe you currently still are. Maybe you're already retired. Maybe you're within 5 years, let's say, or less of retirement, and you're a strong saver as well as a high income earner. Well, this Bidenomics has a bullseye on your back. And if you don't believe me, look at the reality of what's being proposed by this administration. 30 trillion of additional taxes by 2030 to collect 30 trillion. Why? Because we've got right now, if we're being real with the numbers, which this administration and this media has a real tough time with the reality of the true math and numbers, or the truth in general, is about a $2 trillion per year deficit, right? 2 trillion more going out than we have coming in, and nobody thinks there's a problem with this. And we keep kicking the can down the road. And here's one of the things I really want to teach you is that the longer you wait, the more tax you're going to pay. And here's an exercise that you can take advantage of. Now, the first thing I want you to learn are the concepts. And I'm going to be teaching this coming Tuesday at retirementprotected.com. That's retirementprotected.com. It's a complimentary log on to learn educational webinar where I'll give you examples, case studies, proven strategies with a track record of measurable results. And it's conceptual, so it's not going to be specific because each person's tax situation is very specific. And how do we know that? Because we have a tax team. Our wealth planning team helps clients typically within 5 years or less of retirement, and those that are in retirement, make a better passage or a smoother transition to and through retirement with a focus on going from the accumulation phase to the wealth preservation and transfer phase. And a lot of people don't realize that this is going to be the largest wealth transfer in history. It's projected to be, from the boomer generation down, 84 trillion of wealth is going to transfer. And the government knows this, which is why they keep changing all these rules. I want to teach you that if you don't do something about your taxes, I can assure you the government has a plan for you if you don't have one. And let me give you an example with one of the tools I want to teach you that Mike took advantage of that I talk about on Hidden Wealth Radio this weekend. And you can find our podcast and our Hidden Wealth Radio program at hiddenwealthradio.com, as well as iHeartRadio.com podcast Hidden Wealth. And you can now listen to that on demand. And I talk about specific clients, and I typically don't have enough time in these video blogs to go through that, but let me give you a quick story on Mike. So Mike is in his mid-60s. He has been a strong saver, right? Every time he got a raise, he kept the same percentage going in, higher and higher into his 401k. And Mike now realizes, by going to the resource I want to recommend to you, and a lot of you have taken us up on this, and a number of you have had your eyes wide open, right? That retirementtaxcalculator.com. It's free. And under 30 seconds, literally, use a realistic tax rate, because you can choose the tax rate, and put in what all the totals are from all these accounts that you've not paid the tax on. I call them the tax me later accounts. And then I want to teach you, which I'll teach you this Tuesday, how to have a tax me never account. In fact, 2 different kinds of accounts I'll teach you this Tuesday. But what Mike learned is that he is on target to pay $1 million more in taxes than what his current balance is. And his balance is worth a couple $1 million, folks. So if he stays on the same retirement tax, road that he's on, which is what this will clearly show you where you're heading, he made a quick detour. And so by meeting with him, because he attended our retirementprotected.com free educational webinar and learned some of the strategies, he learned how to save over $3 million of unnecessary taxes. That doesn't even include the taxes that we're saving him on his Social Security, which when you have up to 85% of your Social Security, especially if you're married, that typically we see is people are throwing away $10,000 to $12,000 a year. And then he avoided having this Medicare tax, this sneak up Irma, right? We had a client that said, I met this gal named Irma, and she's not very nice when it comes to taxes. We run into a lot of you that aren't sure about, should I Roth convert? What should I do? Well, folks, I want you to really think about this. If they're proposing 30 trillion of new taxes by 2030, clearly we know tax rates are going to go up. So I want you to really think about it. How much lower, right? How much less can you pay, right, to learn in what you can do right now? It's your money, folks. You work hard for it. Imagine more financial success, less stress, less worry by removing and having tax mitigation while the tax sale is on. Now, let me give you this stat as we close. It is projected that just the Tax Code and Jobs Act sunsetting, just this Tax Cut and Jobs Act, which is going to sunset in 2 years. We have 24 and 25. We got to get on our guns. And the deduction I'll teach you Tuesday, it's dissipating. So you want to take advantage of it while the deduction's at the highest, while the tax rates are at the lowest, because here's what we found. People with incomes between 40,000 and 500,000. I think this was as of the Peterson Foundation's Tax Institute calculations, will see their taxes just from the Tax Cut and Jobs Act sunsetting. No new taxes, not this $30 trillion that hasn't even been factored in. We'll see a rise of 11 to 15% of higher taxes. Folks, the tax sale is on. I want you to really think about it. And in 24, learn how you can stop and avoid paying more right now, getting a head start in 2024, folks. Your New Year's retirement tax savings resolution. Learn how much more you can avoid paying by learning right now in 2024. RetirementProtected.com.